Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. And it's a great honor to welcome you to the first session of Fall 2023 for the MPH Peer-Led Professional Development Series. For those of you who don't know, I'm Zach Jenkins. I work in the Office of Public Health Practice and Workforce Development, and I get to work with all of our amazing MPH students who get to share all the cool stuff they can do and give great perspectives on things. But y'all don't want to hear from me today, so I'll try and keep my introduction as short as possible. In fact, let's get right to that. And so I'm going to give an introduction to our speaker and session provider, Jaiden Branch. So Jaiden is a second-year MPH student in the Department of Health Promotion, Education, and Behavior, and is currently a graduate assistant with the Career Prevention and Cancer Prevention, and Control Program. In this role, she focuses on community outreach and interpersonal connections. In addition to her current role, she also has professional experience with the nonprofit organization Fact Forward, and also has worked with the maternal and child health and leadership education an advancement program. And I've been fortunate enough to get to know Jaiden on a personal level, and I can say that in addition to all those professional accolades, she's a truly dope and awesome person to be around. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Jaiden, and she's going to give us some tips and tricks to surviving that first year of grad school, which some of y'all may be saying, I need to hear this right now. So without further ado, Jaiden, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Zach. And hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to my little presentation. Let me start off by saying that I am no means an expert in any of this, but I hope that some things that I say will give you some guidance or be pertinent to whatever you have going on right now. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Okay. Does that look good? Okay, awesome. Okay, so as Zach said, my name is Jaiden. So just to give a brief introduction, I'm originally from Beaufort, South Carolina. I've lived there my whole life, and I went to Clemson University, go Tigers, and I have a Bachelor of Science in Anthropology. My reason for ending up in anthropology is very long and convoluted, but to keep it very brief, I started off as a bio major, and I was like, I don't know if I really love like the hard sciences. And then I thought I wanted to go to law school, but I did criminal justice for one semester. And then I found anthropology because I had a friend that was in the program. And I just loved the way that it encompassed so many factors. You could take like biological anthropology, so that would be like forensics. You could do cultural anthropology. I'm missing one. Oh, linguistics is part of anthropology. You could do a lot of things with it. I took a medical anthropology class, and I love the way that health was looked at in a more holistic perspective rather than just it being clinical and about diagnosis, which is obviously very important, but and then I wanted to go to pharmacy school with that. I took organic chem too, and I was like, that is not going to work. So I decided to just do public health because my advisor recommended it to me. I really enjoyed the classes that I had taken in public health while I was trying to get the certificate for it. And that's how I found public health. Even upon graduation, I didn't know a ton about it. I knew very basic information. So as of right now, my research experiences with, as Zach briefly talked about, I've done reproductive health, I've done maternal and child health. I'm also on a research project with Ashley, who's in here right now. And so we've been working on that, talking about how adolescent mothers' experience can affect their child's development. And I also have done some work with colon cancer prevention. I'm on a study right now. Today, I just found out that the study is the highest funded U01 grant that the university has had from the NIH. So that's pretty cool. I didn't even know, and I've been working on it since May. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Okay, so first I want to start off with getting used to the class structure because my major at undergrad was very small. So I was kind of used to small classes, but I did start off in bio, so the class size was massive. So public health, as I'm sure you've heard a million times, is super collaborative. The classes are usually small, and they're comprised of people that you're going to see throughout your entire program. Like I've been in classes, every single class with some of the same people, and this is my second year. So don't be afraid to initiate friendships. And I know that that could be intimidating because I'm not shy, but I like don't go out of my way to be friends with people. But you know, even if it's like you pass someone all the time and you're like, oh, we're in the same class, like just say hey, just like give them a wave and stuff. And if they don't wave back, then maybe that's not someone you want to be friends with. So and the next thing I would say is connect with your professors, showing that you're engaged. If you don't understand something, you shoot them an email, say, hey, like, could you explain this to me? I didn't really understand. They really like answering questions, and even talking to them after class goes a long way. That doesn't mean being like, I don't want to say it, but like a kiss up, you know. But you know, just like letting them know your face and letting them know your name. Like these professors are people that can connect you with graduate assistantships. They can connect you with even like job opportunities, people in the community that you may know. They're very beneficial. It's very beneficial to connect with your professors. And if not all of them, you know, just even two is great. So note taking, I'm going to talk about this very briefly because we're all in grad school. We know how to take notes. For me, though, I had a note style in undergrad where I would kind of just write down everything, and that helped me retain the information better. But I find here that as we see, a lot of the information is given through PowerPoint. So I'll just like read the PowerPoint and listen to what they're saying and just make very small, quick notes on what they're saying. And I find that way I'm actively listening, but I'm also taking notes on the important things. Some professors will even say, if you have a comprehensive exam, they'll be like, hey, pay attention to this. This will be on your comprehensive exam. So it's good, you know, you can just star that and make a note of it and not have to do it all from scratch. So time management. Time management is something that I still struggle with and probably will for forever. I use Google Calendar to keep track of things. You know, if you prefer to do things handwritten, if you prefer to use Apple, if you prefer to use Outlook. I hate Outlook, but if you prefer that, that is totally up to you. Remembering to put something in my calendar as soon as I know what's happening has saved me so many missed assignments and meetings, because I'm sure, as you know, like, you know, there's a lot of meetings going on, and it's so easy. As soon as someone's like, hey, like, we're going to have this meeting this day, or this is going to be a reoccurring thing, I automatically put it in my schedule. It gives me the notification, even like 15 minutes before. I have mine set for 30 minutes before, just in case. And then that way I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not blindsided by things that I need to remember. And I'll talk a little bit more about this when I get to the self-care time, but taking time for yourself is so important. It is so easy to get overwhelmed, and it is so easy to constantly be thinking about work and school and my next assignment. But for years at this point now, I have reserved Saturdays. I'm like, Saturdays, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing work. I'm not doing school. I just have to take time to myself, whether that is just sitting on my couch and playing my Switch, no work. And there are so many opportunities to get involved, but don't overextend yourself. Even if you want to do kind of like a trial run, you know, your first semester, even your first year, like, don't feel bad and don't compare yourself when you see all of your colleagues doing, oh, I'm in this organization, I'm in this organization. If they can handle that, that's great, but don't feel pressured to do that same thing, because you could potentially get burnt out. And get comfortable with saying no. Setting boundaries with people is really important, whether that is, you know, oh, you know, we're gonna hang out, do you wanna come? Like, no, honestly, I'm not really feeling it tonight. You guys go have fun. Even when it comes to your assistantships, you know, in a respectful way, people sometimes can have unrealistic expectations. And I had to get comfortable with saying, hey, I will get this done. It's not going to get done today, but I'll get it done to you as soon as I can. And it's better to just be upfront with it than say yes, kill yourself doing it because you're working so hard at it. And then it's not even, the product that you end up with is probably not even going to be as good if you had to just taken more time to do it. So next, this was a late addition, but I remembered this because it's been really good advice that I got, and I wanted to say it here. Keep a record of everything. At every advisement meeting, make sure you keep a record that you've been approved to take. So, you know, like when you fill out your form, you send it to your advisor, they sign on it. Just keep a record of that, just in case, you know, there's any discrepancies with the classes you were supposed to take, or, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to take this, but this got approved. Just keep a record of it. I got a little tab on my iPad with all that information. And with your GAs, you know, keep records of contracts signed for the upcoming semesters. Even right now, I'm having an issue with getting paid for one of them. And I'm like, oh, great, I pinned the email. So I know exactly what to reference, and I know exactly who to contact because this is going wrong. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Graduate school is not easy, and it's hard for you. You shouldn't feel bad. It's hard. It's a lot of work. So reach out to your classmates and professors. Reaching out to your fellow classmates and your professors when you need assistance doesn't mean you are incapable, or it doesn't mean that you can't get it, you know. Some things just come easier to other people, and some people don't understand certain things. And that's okay. You shouldn't feel bad, or you shouldn't feel like, oh, like I can't do this. I'm not meant for this. You know, it gets hard. Like if you ask for help, this goes back to even just reaching out to your professors. There were some moments in the quantitative class where I was like, this is really hard. And I am not math oriented. So being comfortable with reaching out and saying, hey, I don't understand this, was so beneficial to me in the end, and ended up helping me get a good grade in it because I was okay with saying, I don't understand this. And we're all here to learn. You know, we're in school, we're paying to be here, and fostering an environment of helping each other works for everyone's benefit in the long term. And take advantages of opportunities and go outside of your comfort zone. Do you see a fellowship that you're interested in? You should apply for it. I speak from personal experience. Last semester, there was this fellowship that had popped up, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I don't know if I should apply. And then I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna apply after prompted by one of my professors. And then I ended up getting it. And I was like, wow, that was a fellowship won, and I wasn't even gonna apply for it. So it was a potential missed opportunity. So just go for it. You never know. You never know. And do you see emails about social events, but you might not know anyone going? Go anyway. Also, last semester, I was involved with the Black Graduate Student Association, and I was a little bit unsure as to, I was like, oh, like my friends are coming to this event, but I don't know, I want to go. And I went, and it was really great. Everyone was very welcoming. I didn't feel like awkward or weird, and yeah, they knew each other, but like I was stressing over nothing essentially. And so just go check it out. And if you don't like it one time, that's okay. You don't have to go again. And utilize your resources. Faculty here want you to succeed, and they're going to point you in the right direction so that your needs are met. I'm going to give a shout out to Zach right now. Even if you don't have like super tight relationships with your professors, Zach is a really great resource. If you need help with the graduate assistantship, and even if you just have general concerns about the program, you're like, hey, like I noticed this about my class. This is kind of weird, or I don't really like this. Like, talk to him. He's a great champion for the students, and he can connect you with other professors as well. So self-care. I'm gonna get to the fun part. So decide what self-care looks like to you. People, you know, stereotypically self-care has to be like something expensive, or, oh, I'm gonna go get my nails done, which I do like to get my nails done. But it doesn't have to be that. If it's like lying in the bed and watching TikTok, that is self-care. If it's just going to sit outside, that's self-care. And if it's not doing anything, that is self-care. Not to be cheesy or anything, but you know, like not to be like, we live in a society, but we live in a society truly where you are kind of made to feel bad for not doing anything, or it's like relaxing. It's kind of like you need to be going, you need to be, who can I network with? Who can I connect with? What work can I be doing? What job should I be looking at? It's just like, you know, we just need to take some time to relax every now and then. And it is okay to not do something sometimes. It's okay to when I got home today, I literally just sat on the couch and just laid there like this, sprawled out, because I was like, I just need a break. So that's up to you. My version of self-care, I do like getting my nails done. I like going and just standing with my dog outside and just going to stand in the sun. I like to watch crappy TV and read. I love to read. And most importantly, this was something that, in a moment of transparency, imposter syndrome was something that I had a hard time with, especially last semester when it was time for me to apply for a new graduate assistantship, when it was time for me to apply for that fellowship, when I was really just starting to think about my future. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I know all of these people, they're doing X, Y, Z. Oh, this person works with this organization. They've already got published research. Oh, this person did this amazing poster presentation. I'm falling behind. That's what I felt like. But then I realized that no, I'm not. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And if you ever are starting to feel like doubtful, or like, I don't know if this is for me, there's, you know, if you have a genuine concern about, yeah, I don't know if this is a good fit for me, then, you know, explore that. But if you're stuck in a cycle of like comparing yourself to other people, just don't do it. It's really hard, and I still find myself doing it, but nothing good comes from it. And take a moment to reflect and be happy with your achievements, because you're here, you're a grad student, and that is something that you should 100% be proud of. You don't have to have 10 papers to be, which is amazing, but you don't have to have 10 papers to be proud of yourself. You know, having some people, supportive people in my corner, there was a professor I talked to about it, and taking pride in what I've accomplished reminded me that I deserve to be here just like everyone else. And so do you. So with that, those are very basic tips, and it was pretty brief, but I hope that that was beneficial or helpful. So does anyone have any questions? Or do you have any advice that you at one point found helpful that you would like to share?
Jaiden, thanks so much for sharing such great wisdom with everybody. I think that, you know, I feel like I'm learning things too, which is awesome. And does anybody have any kind of questions or concerns? It could be something very specific for some of our first year students of how did you learn how to understand odds ratios or something crazy, or, you know, whatever it is, right? Or any other just comments, feedback, or general comments.
Um, hey Jaden, I think you did great on your presentation. I think you touched on a lot of very relatable points. And I remember our first day of class when we first got together, and we were all kind of anxious and nervous. And just looking back, and like you said, just having that imposter syndrome, looking back and thinking about all the things that we've accomplished so far, and all the work that we've done, it really makes a huge difference as far as like reaching out to people, asking for help, reaching out to professors, mentors, any and everybody, and just like being human with them, because it's not all about, you know, school and academia. Sometimes it's just about connecting, because we all need somebody. So I think you made very, very, very great points as far as just being. Sometimes like you don't always have to be overachieving, but sometimes it's just about connecting with people, making the most of every situation, and just trying to get out of your head, especially when it comes to imposter syndrome. So yeah, I really enjoyed your presentation, and I am excited to see where we go.
Thank you so much, Brittany, for sharing. Yeah, that I really love the part where you say not everything has to be about academia. Sometimes it's just about connecting with people. I mean, me, Brittany, and Beata, like we've all made like genuine friendships because of school. And like, yeah, we have projects together, but you know, like that's a connection right there. Like a lifelong connection that we'll have. So thank you, Brittany. I appreciate you for sharing.
Yeah, that was some great comments, Brittany. I really appreciate that. So I think that just one note that I want to build on that you talked about was this idea of there's kind of a tension in this stuff of surviving, right? It's you're leaning in, but you're also taking care of yourself. And so I think you balance those lines really articulately. And I think that that's like the challenge for all of us, right? I mean, we're here to do great things and to lean into our programs and get our careers, extend our careers, or get our careers off the ground. But you know, how do we also make sure we're taking care of us? And I think that lean in with your classmates and your instructors. Like you got a community of people that care about you. And Jaiden put that really, really well. But I just want to emphasize that we want you to learn all this stuff, but we care about you as a person too, and your happiness. And that's not just blowing smoke. Like that's the truth. And y'all know the instructors, and I think that comes through when you talk to them. So, anyways, just wanted to make sure I highlighted that as well.
Thank you, Zach.
So one thing before, and if there's any other questions, please chime up. But one thing I did want to bring up before we part ways for the evening for another fun Wednesday in the fall semester is that this series is actually something, if you're thinking like, man, that was really cool. Why did Jaiden get to do something like that? Well, actually, we have a series that's called the MPH peer-led, student-led professional development series. And so what that is basically it's an opportunity for you as a student to do a professional presentation about something you know a lot about. Because the thing is, while the faculty and staff, while we can teach and help you in some ways, we can all help each other, right? Because Jaiden has special knowledge, and Brittany has special knowledge, and Jasmine, and everybody has these things that we can bring to the table that we can learn and help co-create knowledge with one another, right? So we started this program here where you can essentially do a call for proposals if you're dope in one area. So in the past, we've had students do e-portfolio trainings. We've had a Canva presentation. And so this is still a relatively new phenomenon. And if you're thinking, well, man, I got this one thing that I'm really good at, well, why don't you submit a proposal to me in the MPH Professional Development Committee? And then this could be you in the fall and spring. And if you choose to do something like that, it's not like you're on your own. We try and support you in making sure that it's a meaningful experience for you, and we're not just throwing you out to to dry or whatever. So I think that I want y'all, for those of you attending, I would like all of you to think about, man, what's that thing that I'm really good at? And it could be, oh my God, I mean, I put some examples on the website, but it could be things as simple as getting the most out of your graduate experience, effectively using LinkedIn. Like, it's really, the possibilities are endless, but we want to give you a chance to shine and show all of the great things that you know about. So I do want y'all to consider submitting a proposal, and that's a great way to build your resume, but also just connect with your colleagues and give a chance for a professional presentation. So I'll plant that seed in everybody's mind, and then Jaiden actually has her information up here. So if you're not tight with her like that yet, get tight with her because she's cool. So thank you, Jaiden, for being willing to do this and for all of your hard work and wisdom that you shared this evening. And everybody else, thank you for taking time out of your busy weeks to support Jaiden, and hopefully you leave feeling a little wiser.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Beata, for your message.
Very cool. Well, that was a great first session for our MPH peer-led development for the fall of 2023. Go forth, be happy, be successful, and I hope to see all of y'all soon. So,
bye, everyone. Have a good night. Thank you for coming again.